Okay, let's put the fuselage together. And the cockpit goes in like so. Let's see here. Make sure everything's good and fitted correctly. Okay. Just put a little glue here. Just let it sit just for a little bit. Let it do its thing. Just to hold it in place. Let's put these two together. Okay, good fit. Good fit. Alright, excellent. What we'll do, take a rubber band here. Okay. Fit looks okay. So, go ahead and glue the rest of the cockpit in. Let it rest in there for a moment. Alright, this is looking good. What I'll do here now is let the capillary action here flow from the inside out. Right now I am only doing the top pieces here. Okay. Grab a clip here, get these tied down together like that. Go ahead and put glue here. And here. Watch out for the rubber band. Go ahead and hold this together for a while. Let me take this rubber band out. And since the end here is so close together, actually hold it together with another clip like that. Put the glue here on the tail section. Go ahead and get all the way around here. Okay, let's squeeze that in. Okay, and the bottom part here, go ahead and take and squeeze that in here. Alright, good. Some of the plastic is coming up out of the seams there, which is alright. We'll lightly do some sanding, and we want to keep it light. I have these two pieces that go behind the cockpit, so we'll go ahead and glue these two together. Okay, and then we'll just go ahead and drizzle it down a bit with the glue, like that. Get it in. Alright, this I'm just going to keep holding on to and give it a minute or so. Okay, so that this is dried up, we'll put this piece in the back here. We're definitely going to have to do some sanding here. So if you can see, it's raised up here just a little bit, which is no big deal. We can sand that down flush. On this end here, it's already flush, so we don't have to worry about that. So yeah, and here it's raising up a little. This part right here, we'll have to sand that down. And yeah, let's go and glue it up. Now that happened on my Wildcat as well. So it looks like if we do a little squeezing here, it'll touch the cockpit so we will have to do some filling later, no big deal. Let's go ahead and throw some glue in there right now. Push it in just a little. Let's hold this in for a while and let it settle and dry. The fit inside the cockpit, against the cockpit wall of the seat here, definitely going to have to fill it up a little. So what I did was make sure that the edges here are glued and fit against each other, so that the fill-in will only have to be at the top here. So less area to fill in and mess with, the less mistakes we'll make. So it's always about choosing your battles. And honestly, when you put the windows on, the canopy on, you probably won't be able to see it much. But we are opening a canopy, so we will have to fill this in, otherwise you will see it. Okay, so looking ahead on the instructions, I want to make sure that something that we should be doing now instead of later is, here's where the antenna goes. The front antenna here. Now the thing with the front antenna is, I guess Small doesn't have it because to me it's telling me to glue it in and cut it out, I guess, to fill the space. And the other thing is we have to take off this extruding piece here. So we'll go ahead and do that right now. Instead of putting it on, cutting it off, blah blah blah, gonna go ahead and fill it up with crazy glue. Now take some CA glue, dab it on to a cardstock or something. We use this toothpick here. It's the one I use for painting the engine. Get a brush, baking soda. Alright, now if you don't know this technique yet, check it out over at scalemodeladdict.com in the resource section. Okay, brush it off. Now it's obvious that we are going to have to sand over some of the panel lines here, so we'll have to rescribe that. Okay, now I shook out the all the baking soda stuff off of the napkin, because when we start painting and stuff, it's the stuff will get all over the place, so make sure you clean up after you've done your thing. Alright, so now let's sand this down and sand that down. Now like I said, we're gonna go over some panel lines, so we're gonna be careful here. I'm gonna use a really low grit here. I'm gonna go ahead and send this down first. I'm hitting a lot of details here, so there's gonna be no way around it. Okay, that looks about right. Now let's go ahead and sand down the super glue part. Now once you do the baking soda on the super glue, it is immediately dry, so you can go ahead and start sanding it out right away. Use a low grit. Okay, it's all sanded down flush. As you can see, the super glue is filled in that hole there, and we sanded down that extruding little piece there. Scuffle the stuff around, but no big deal. We'll go ahead and just buff it up a little. Other than the scuffling, we still have our details around here. I do need to score through the super glue area, so let's go ahead and get some of the scuffle marks out. A really low grit here. Now we'll just use the buffer and just buff it out. Now what we'll go ahead and do later is, after this, is just run a wet paper towel over it, try to get the gunk out of the panel lines. And everything looks good. So the next step is to put the fuselage onto the wing roots, the tails. I might put the tail on, I'm not sure. I'll put the tail on. And the cow.